All right, JD Atkins here with AL Football Chat, co-host Will Johnson. We are here for the online clinic today, put on by Chief Pigskin, and right now we are sitting down with Coach Crawford of Hueytown High School. Coach Crawford, how you doing today?
Doing great. How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. Tell us a little bit about what you're speaking about today.
I spoke on effort versus analytics. We took 4 football situations: third down, fourth downs, red zone, and what we call the prize zone, the 5 and in. And we just looked at our success rate in those situations. And we just want to compile data from year to year to kind of see how it match up percentage wise and how it affects our win percentage as a team and point differential when it comes to opponent score and our score. Some of those situations, like the most glaring one was for us, and we also did 3 and out per drive. The most glaring one was anytime that we were 50% plus on 3 and outs for the total drives of the game, we won every one of those games. Now, will it hold true from year to year? That's going to take some time to kind of figure out. But we had some really good third down numbers. I think it was 71% on third downs for the whole season. And fourth downs, we were like 70% or 71% also. So we did really well in those aspects. And we were a 60% clip in the red zone, so we were able to get stops at a 60% clip in the red zone. So just compiling the data for those numbers to get those numbers and just see how it relates to wins over the year. So this is basically like the first phase of the data being taken, and we're just going to try to stack it year to year to see how it will last over time.
That's really cool, Coach. What made you want to start running these numbers and get into this analytics a little bit more?
Because I'm not really a big numbers guy, but I know sometimes like kids' effort can kind of push the numbers to the side. We look at. I had an addition to our staff defensively. A first-year football coach, but he had a racing background, so numbers was everything to him. And he wanted to dive deeper into the numbers, so he would bring me all of these weird percentages, and I was like, yeah, whatever. But then I was thinking, like, I can use that. You know what I'm saying? We can use that. And so we kind of just wanted to focus in and key in on those things, those 4 to 5 things to just see how it will help us over time. And we look at, our opponent's percentage in the red zone, how they fare on third downs, how they fare on fourth downs, because that's kind of going to tell us their likelihood of going on fourth down or what they're going to try to do in the red zone or what they're going to try to do in the prize zone. So looking at those numbers just helps us scheme and game plan a little bit better.
Well, Coach, one question I've been asking today is your why. Why did you get into coaching football?
I don't got the football say in my life story. I was always a good kid, always a good student. I probably would have went to college without football, but one thing, my defensive coordinator in high school, he asked me, and he knew my soft spot was my mother. He was like, do you want your mama to have to struggle to put you through college? And I was like, nah, that ain't what I want. I didn't even love football at the time, but I played it because I'm from a small country town in Georgia and everybody plays football. Yeah. But him just poking that soft spot in me, it just put a fire into me. I started to take it seriously, and I ended up getting a scholarship. And as I started playing in college, my love didn't grow for the game until after the game was taken away and after I was done playing. Yeah. And that's when I wanted to get into coaching. So it led me down this path, and here we are today.
So you graduate college, you decide coaching is your deal. Mm-hmm. Talk us through kind of your path from there up until Hueytown.
Okay, I graduate college in fall of 2014, which is a terrible time to graduate college for a teacher. So me and my then girlfriend, we leave Montgomery, move up to the Birmingham area to Hoover. I'm working as an aide at Bumpus Middle School. She's working at the State Department of Forensics, and I'm just working, grinding, trying to find jobs. Then I just run into someone, and through just a small conversation, which I usually don't have with people I don't know, he was a teacher at a school. They were looking for a PE teacher at Bessemer City Middle School. I took my resume to Bessemer City Middle School. The principal wasn't there. He called me back 15 minutes later and was like, come for an interview tomorrow. And after me and him kind of walked around the school, it was the most impromptu interview I ever had. We just walked through the school, we just talked. He kind of got to know me as a person. And he was, at the end of the conversation, he was like, call your mom and tell her you got your first job offer. And I was there at Bessemer City for 4 years. I was the head middle school coach for 3 years and defensive coordinator for 1 year. Then I moved on to Crawford, Birmingham, as the defensive coordinator during 2020, during the COVID year. And then we were living in McCalla, which is a track from trying to get to McCalla all the way to North Birmingham every day for practice, and we're doing everything after school, and I'm getting home at 9:30, and I got 2 kids, and my wife pregnant with the third, and I just wanted something a little bit closer, something with a setup that would be conducive to me getting home a little bit earlier to help my wife. So I stepped down as defensive coordinator, and I go and meet with Coach Patterson at Hueytown, and I tell him, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to be on the defensive staff. You ain't got to give me a position right now, but I want to coach here. And that was through Coach May and Coach William, 2 of my really good friends. They got me to sit down with him, and he was like, sure, you know what I'm saying? And things kind of worked out in my favor there. I didn't even have a position in the building. I just took a leap of faith. I was working at an elementary school at the time, and a couple things transpired, and they offered me a spot in the building. They offered me a position to be the co-coordinator, and the rest is history.
Coach, as the offseason's going along, you guys, whatever it is that you do, what are you studying to get yourself better, to put your kids in a better spot? Are there anybody in particular, any teams, college, high school, anything like that?
Right now, I've been looking at a lot of Kansas State and NC State. They kind of run a stack, but it's not really a true stack because they kind of morph to whatever the offense gives them. And I'm just trying to find something that'll help us personnel-wise next year because our defense is going to look a whole lot different. Our strength is going to shift. So I don't want to be one of those guys who are concrete. I'm this guy. This is all we going to do. I want to be able to morph to the strengths of our guys. So just studying a lot of different schemes, a lot of different ways people are successful, and trying to meet and sit down with guys who have been able to do more with less so that we can be successful defensively and kind of build a reputation of being a solid defense at Hueytown.
It's no secret Hueytown's had a lot of success recently. What's kind of the secret behind that success? What makes y'all successful, especially defensively?
Defensively, man, I think we have a lot of personality. We have a lot of kids with really, really big personalities. We have a lot of kids that just play really hard. And we don't have the 4 and the 5-star kids all across the field. They just play really hard. You give them simple tasks, you give them a scheme that they can understand, and they'll fly around and play for you as long as they know that you really care about them and that you love them. And I think that's the secret to the success. The kids play really hard. I don't want to sit up here and take no credit because I'm not doing anything revolutionary. We are doing basic football things, and those guys going out playing hard, getting stops, and the same thing on offense. Them guys just going out and playing balls to the wall every play, and that's allowing us to reach the amount of success that we have.
Coach, you talking about defense obviously being your specialty. What is your scheme that you run?
I'm a base 4-2-5 guy. I played in the 4-3 in high school. I played in the 3-4 my first year in college. Then we switched coordinators, and then we went back to a 4-3. And then that kind of merged into a 4-2-5. So when I started coaching high school football, I went back to the 4-2-5 just off of that's what I know.
Yeah.
But as the years went on, I added, we like the personnel with teams, so we go 3-4. When offensive guys want to go heavy, we can go get into some 5-2 looks, whatever the offensive personnel requires. We try to get into into looks that will allow us to be successful.
Okay.
So we try to. One of my favorite quotes is Bruce Lee B. Water.
Yeah.
We try to use that in whatever aspect that the game brings, whatever obstacle the game brings us, we try to be water and be fluid, because that's going to help us reach success, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
You've mentioned earlier your family, your kids.
Mm-hmm.
How has being a father impacted you as a coach? Has it changed the way that you approach the kids you work with?
Mm-hmm. I just know that kids are really, really, they're interesting. You can learn a lot from them. And just listening to them will give you a different perspective on a lot of things that you may not think that it will. I have 3 kids of my own, and they're great kids. And I also was a middle school teacher and an elementary school PE teacher, and so I'm always around kids. And it's always things you can pick and pry from them and just kind of take from them that you can take into the coaching. Just like, my son is a soccer player, my daughter is into gymnastics, my younger son, he only 2, so he's not into extracurriculars yet. But just being able to help develop them in the avenues of athletics they went down, just seeing how they learn as young people. The same thing when I was in the elementary school setting, being able to take a kid that can't throw a little plastic ball into a clothes basket from 3 feet away when you first see him, and then 2 or 3 weeks later he can ring it every time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the development.
Yeah.
And being able to develop those high school guys, because sometimes I think we overthink it. Like, I think it's some elementary aspects of coaching that we can take on any level that'll work, especially when you're taking guys who may not know everything about football. I know in the high school level, you thinking, okay, they play Little League, they play middle school, but some of the stuff may have fell by the wayside is through their path. So we got to be able to take it back to the ground roots and still bring those guys along as if they are novice as anybody that ever touched the field.
Well, Coach, man, we certainly appreciate you coming out to Chief Pigskin, the online clinic, AL Football Chat, getting this stuff together, man. Some of the best and brightest, man. And I see your name all over the place, Twitter, all that, list of great coaches out there, man. And so I wish you nothing but success going forward.
Same for you guys, too. Same for you guys, too.
Thank you, Coach.